Riverhead. Here's a look at our starting lineup. Row 1, Ken Hyde and Anthony Nunziata. Row 2, Mark Lento and Lou Wagner. Row 3, Tom Ferrara and Bobby Wallace. Ron Harrison and Kenneth Harsh will be on row 4. On row 5, Bob Laurel and 59-year-old Joe Biondolello Sr. Row 6, John Zell and Chuck Latke, who's been busy this weekend. Row 7, Ed Kife and Bill Batch. On row 8, Tom Kraft and 4-time series champion Joe Biondolello Jr. On row 9, Roger Maynor, the points leader, coming in, and Ralph Tasso, who is second. Row 10, Joe Larson from Babylon, New York, and Ronkonkoma Frank Seuss. And on row 11, Ken Messmer. Now, the field has been inverted, meaning the fast guys are at the back, the slower ones at the front, so we expect to see a lot of passing. 50 points for a victory, and as you see, Ralph Tasso can move right up past Roger Maynor for the series point lead. Tom Kraft in third, Joe Biondolello in fourth. Basically a four-man race. Biondolello looking for his 5th figure 8 series victory.
Bob, as you mentioned, the leaders start back in the back of the pack. 17th position, Roger Maynor, the #1 point leader, coming in, and Ralph Tasso in 18, Tom Kraft in the 15th spot, Joe Biondolello Jr. in the 16th spot.
You have to grow up on Long Island to learn to pronounce these names correctly. Biondolello, Buttafuoco, you name it. Great competition was a part of the show there as well. The green flag's wave from Bruce Knoll. We are underway, and Hyde jumps into the early lead.
Hyde with a great start. As this field spreads out, they will have to watch that X in the middle of the track.
Lou Wagner, very high line and very loose. He gets out to the wall. He will lose third place to car number 19, Bobby Wallace. Don't look for an apex or a racing line on a track like this. You just got to pass as soon and as often as you can. There you see Ken Hyde.
And already the traffic getting congested at the X. Had a problem up in the top turn.
We have a couple of cars up against the wall entering this corner right now. Everybody's going to have to keep it down low. Car number 22, Bill Batch, is one of them. You can't make out the number on the other. There you see him pinned up against the wall.
Looks like it might be the 3, Ralph Tasso.
And with that, we'll have to slow the field down. And we will red flag it. Now, this is not unusual on a tight little quarter-mile oval like this one. Whenever you have problems, they pull out the red hanky, and that's what they've done.
Does look like it's not the 3.
Now, here's another look at the start of the race, and it's worth watching the flagman as Bruce Knoll waves him and runs for his very life. At Riverhead Raceway, we are under the green flag once again in our figure 8 competition. Bill Batch's car was pulled off after a collision with Tom Ferrara, who is a contender for the Rookie Points Championship this year. Batch is done, but Ferrara is back at the tail of the pack. You're watching your leader, car number 58, Ken Hyde. And car number 19, just behind him, Bobby Wallace, has moved up from the 3rd row to contend for the race lead.
Kenneth Harsh picking up the 3rd place in car number 69, and our first accident did not happen at the X. It was up in the corner, as you mentioned, Bill Batch Jr. out of the race.
All of these cars, iron block V8s or inline 6s. The 6s can use aluminum heads and run 350 pounds lighter than their big V8 cousins. And all of the cars on a softer compound Hoosier tire. Last year they used a hard compound from McCreary. But now they have a softer compound that gives them lots of traction. And as you can see, you need all that you can get in figure 8. Now to the crossover, and we've got traffic.
And John Zell making his move, moving up into 4th place. He's one of the favored. Now he just moves into 3rd with a good inside line there through the X.
Down at the crossover, that yellow car right there, that's Tom Ferrara. And he is letting discretion be the better part of valor. He's going to stop at the crossover and LaField pass, then cross. If you want to win a race, you can't do that. You've got to find a gap and shoot for it.
Quite a battle now between our leaders there in the 58, Ken Hyde, 19, Bobby Wallace, and all kind of traffic there at the X.
Taking the high line, tail wagging all around the racetrack is Ken Hyde. Putting a good run on. Now we've got a spinner right there at the crossover. He's safely out of the way. That's Joe Biondolello Sr., who's been doing this for a very long time. The man is 59 years old. And now we have another red flag. Car number 49 right there at the crossover is in a dangerous position. So they're going to have to get some help out there to get him out of the way. So once again, Bruce Null waves the red flag and the cars will come to a stop.
Biondillo Sr. got in trouble there. He was hit coming across the X. 59-year-old retired wrecking yard owner out of Holtzville, New York. Right there. Not quite broadsided, but spun him completely around. Got a dangerous situation right there at the X, and the other drivers expertly avoided.
So the wrecker is back on the racetrack. We should point out once again, as you saw Biondillo take that hit in red flags, he waves it, and then on the dead run he goes, because here comes the field.
Bobby Wallace trying to make his move. Ken Hyde trying to fight him off. They are bumping going through the X.
Oh, we got a spin at the crossover. As the race leaders battle, the crossing is clear. And through they come, but that spin took out Joe Biondillo Jr., one of the contenders for the track championship. Ed Kife also involved. Now Biondillo Jr. gets moving once again.
His back left tire is shot.
Welcome back to Riverhead Raceway, where the field is once again up to speed, and now the green flag waves, and there they go. There's car number 28, Roger Maynard, the points leader coming into the weekend. He started 17th. He is now up into 5th spot and charging.
15-year veteran. He's a former track champion, the point leader overall this year, making his move.
Going around Kenny Harsh. He will now draw a beat on car number 10, John Zell. Meanwhile, Joe Biondillo, second in points, is at the back of the pack. He had to change a tire after a collision at the X, at the crossover. The drivers call that a crash bang, and you don't want to have that happen, because at worst, it'll put you at the back.
Biondillo Sr. spun out again. He's trying to get started back up, and he is way back of the pack now.
Yeah, I think he's got mechanical problems. There you see him just to the right of your screen, running down on the inside. Up front, number 58, Ken Hyde leads. Number 19, Bobby Wallace. They've been 1-2 much of the right. Ooh, Wallace just took a touch at the back there from John Zell. And here comes Roger Maynard, going to try the outside.
Ralph Tasso, another favorite, moving up, passing Maynard now. Tight in there for the first 5 positions.
These guys are dead serious about this kind of racing, and they value their championship as much as any Winston Cup titleist ever did. Speaking of Winston Cup titleists, our own Benny Parsons, among his other various kudos, including a Winston Cup championship, also is a figure-8 race winner.
Still a lot of jockeying up there in the front, holding on to the lead. Ken Hyde back there in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and a spin out of the number 10, John Zell.
And we've got cars littering the racetrack now. There you see a tangle down in the south end of the racetrack. Car number 66, that's Joe Biondillo Jr., who has had nothing but bad luck today. Car number 29 is also having problems. That's Ken Mesmer. Now here's a look at one of the tangles, and we had several on that last lap.
John Zell going around, getting spun from behind, taking him right out there. Ralph Tasso in there, battling for position along with Roger Maynard, 2 of our favorites, the 2 top point leaders coming into today's event.
There you see the field been brought to a stop, and an official has to go out there and line them up. It takes a great organizational mind to keep things under control. We'll be back to Riverhead Raceway for more figure-8 racing action in just a moment. Don't go away.
You know, I never really learned my school fight song.
Oh, I know it.
Hell, alma mater.
War Eagle feeling so true.
Give me some music.
They lit up scoreboards from Ann Arbor to Tuscaloosa. They were warriors of Saturday afternoon.
Early son of Notre Dame.
On to victory, strike up the band.
Now relive it all with Burger King Legends of College Football Cups. Free when you upsize your Whopper value meal.
Figure-8 challenge, and off the corner they come. Leader Ken Hyde going door to door and then some with Bobby Wallace. Behind them, points leader Roger Maynard, number 28.
Maynard looks like he's ready to make his move, and he has.
Going up the outside to pull in behind Hyde, but no, Wallace having none of it. He'll go door to door.
Little bumping there between Wallace and Maynard as they go through the X. And Maynard coming in now to second place.
Car number 3 is moving up as well. It's Ralph Tasso. He is second in points. He needs these badly.
He just bumped Maynard from behind. Battle between those two in the point leaders.
Getting up to about 65, 70 miles an hour before they get hard on the brakes, up onto the banking. Whoa, we're all over the infield, and Maynard is making his bid for the lead now on the inside. He's got Tasso just behind him.
And Maynard taking the lead. Tasso now battling for second place with Ken Hyde.
Now we're going to begin to find traffic. Maynard in lead. Tasso runs second. Now Hyde drops back to third. Behind him, number 10, John Zell, who is fifth in points.
Here comes the traffic, and pulling up as they cross the intersection of the X was the 49, Mark Lento.
And that was good for the race leaders. He got out of the way, let him come through unencumbered across the X.
Maynard and Tasso, the leaders. They are 1 and 2 in the point standing coming in, and they're 1 and 2 in this race, and all kinds of trouble back near the X.
And they've got slower traffic in front of them now. A couple of cars had to hold up to let the field come through, and look at the traffic of slower cars out in front of our leaders. Maynard and Tasso. Now they get a clean line. They'll have the outside at the north end of the track.
Trying to get around Bill Batch Jr., the 22. He'll pass him on the right side.
Meanwhile, Zell has dropped well back. Maynard and Tasso doing a great job in traffic. They are all alone in first and second.
Coming down to the wire now with 3 laps to go.
And the laps don't take long. Just ahead of this battle, tire smoking. You'll see him in a moment. Joe Biondolillo Jr. has had no luck at all. He's about to be lapped just when he desperately needed the points in search of that 5th series championship.
And he will do a classy thing. He will move to the outside, let the leaders pass and battle for this victory.
There you see he's now third. He has now been lapped by the leader. He is third in that line, not third in the race. White flag lap. White flag for Maynard and Tasso. Everybody will vacate the X, the crossover, as they come through. We've got tires smoking everywhere, dirt flying. To the line they come, and Maynard takes it with a big fishtail salute to the crowd. Tasso unofficially